Leader of the Official Opposition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, day after day, communities and businesses face a relentless onslaught of shattered storefronts, rampant shoplifting, and violent assaults at levels never seen before. This total chaos and disorder is the direct result of the Premier's soft-on-crime policies and his catch-and-release playbook that he oversaw while Attorney General. But people have had enough, including the Save Our Streets Coalition, made up of retailers and community groups that have a clear message for the Premier that what he is doing is not working. So my question is, when will the Premier listen to the united voices of communities and businesses and admit that his soft-on-crime approach has utterly failed?
Attorney General.
I thank the member for the question, Mr. Speaker. Public safety is very important. Every British Columbian deserves to feel safe in this province. It's something that the Premier, when he was Attorney General, and myself as Attorney General take very seriously. We've been advocating for bail reform at a federal level. In fact, I was the only minister from across this country to speak at the Senate committee to ask for quick passing of the bail reform in this country. Mr. Speaker, we're investing in the programs on the ground across government to make sure that the communities have the resources they need to face the challenges that they're seeing when it comes to some increase in vandalism and crime. Mr. Speaker, we'll continue to put in the effort it takes to make this better for communities. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Leader of the Official Opposition, supplemental.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Well, Mr. Speaker, the Attorney General talks about the federal bail reform, but that only applies to violent repeat offenders. We're talking about prolific property crime offenders that are creating chaos in our streets. And that's the difference between rhetoric and the results that people want to see. The fact of the matter is that crime and violence in our communities has never been worse than it is under this Premier and this government. Clint Melman, the London Drugs president and member of the Save Our Streets Coalition, said it best, and I quote, "Words don't mean much. We want to see measurable results." End of quote. The evidence is there in every smashed car window, every defaced storefront, and across every neighborhood in our province. People demand results, not rhetoric, not excuses. So when will the Premier end the soft-on-crime approach and finally admit that this catch-and-release playbook has utterly failed? And when will they commit to restoring consequences and treating all crime seriously?
Attorney General.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This government takes public safety very seriously. In fact, we have a cross-government approach through our Safer Communities Action Plan, where I'm joined by my colleagues making real investments on the ground for communities. Again, I was the only minister from across this country to advocate at the federal level for bail reform. We're investing in a repeat offenders initiative that's on the ground resources for our police officers, our Crown Counsel, our probation officers to surround themselves around repeat violent offenders. We've invested in more resources for RCMP officers. We're going to continue to take action, Mr. Speaker, because that's what we're about. Thank you.
Leader of the Official Opposition, second supplemental.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Well, the reality, Mr. Speaker, is that we didn't see this 7 years ago. Under this Premier, we've seen rampant street disorder to become, as the NDP like to describe it, as the new normal. Apparently, we're supposed to just accept this as the new normal, which we don't, nor do the Save Our Streets Coalition, which is a grassroots alliance from Dawson Creek to Victoria, and they are rapidly seeing new members joining virtually daily, because people and businesses are fed up with being afraid in their own neighborhoods, in their own workplaces, and when they go out to shop. So when will this soft-on-crime Premier and Attorney General realize that their failed policies and the reckless decriminalization they've overseen has fueled this explosion of violence and street disorder? And when will they actually treat all crime seriously and restore law and order to our communities?
Attorney General.
Mr. Speaker, we've been investing in resources on the ground across communities to address the challenges that they're facing. In fact, communities across North America and this country are facing challenges when it comes to some incidents of crime. We know that communities need support, and we're doing that, Mr. Speaker. I had the chance to visit the repeat offender initiatives in Surrey and Vancouver that have been up and running for 4 months, 5 months now, and have 300 cases referred to them. They are looking at the most prolific offenders right now and figuring out how to keep communities safe by keeping them off the streets. And it's working, Mr. Speaker. And that was a program that was around in 2012 that was cut by that government. Mr. Speaker, we will continue to make invest in the resources needed to make the situation better. Thank you.